What's going on, everyone? I got another fun one today for you all. We're playing Double Blue KRENNIC, and we are abusing some DUME. The new DUME from set 5. One of my favorite cards, to be honest. It is just super fun to play with. And we're going to dive into the list and see what we can do today. Before we talk about what's going on with KRENNIC Double Blue, big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It's been absolutely a ton of fun to get to know a lot of you and hang out with you and play some games. So thank you so much. I also have a TCG player link in the description down below. So if you want to pick up any set 5 cards, jump down there. But Double Blue KRENNIC, what are we doing here? What are we doing with Double Blue KRENNIC? First thing, we are really utilizing DUME. All of our units are ground units, which means non-vehicle, which means we are going to be able to put experience tokens on all of them. Okay, if we're going with experience tokens, we're playing a little bit of upgrade synergy. Why are we playing Gar-Saxon? Well, the first thing is there's actually a lot of power in the extra +1/+0 from damaged units. Things like Dr. Pershing get a little bit better. Things like Royal Guard Attaché get a little bit better. Death Trooper is a lot better. And just random damage around the place gets a lot better. Also, and arguably the biggest portion of this, is that Gar-Saxon deploys on 6 resources. And that is a major difference from 5 resources with KRENNIC. That is the bigger reason. The extra Restore 2 also matters a lot. And that means that you don't really have to index towards space at all. I mean, you could go Gar-Saxon, just do like literally the same list, but with Gar-Saxon. Your early Secretive Sages and KRENNICs would be a little bit more powerful. Your Axe Woves and your other units like Shieldson and Hondo would be a little bit more powerful, but any other unit like Death Trooper is going to be a little bit weaker. Attaché would be a different card. There's a bunch of cards that would be a little bit different in the list, but KRENNIC, in my experience, has just been a little bit stronger. So outside of DUME and all the things that we got here, what is the game plan? Well, we're just trying to curve out. We're just trying to curve out, play unit, play unit, play unit, have a little bit of interaction with Death Trooper or, Power of the Dark Side or Vigilance, that type of effect. I did drop a Calculated Lethality. This card's been going up and up a little bit for me, just because there are a lot of things like General's Blade in the format or other upgrades that is really, really powerful. So I just have the one of... most people don't play into Power of the Dark Side or into our deck when we have Power of the Dark Side available, but it is still a decent one if they put an upgrade a little bit later on. Of course, if they have like experience tokens, which is pretty common as well, like with Obi-Wan, Calculated Lethality gets a little bit better as well. That said, Shieldson, great 6/6 in our deck on turn 4 as a Sentinel or on turn 3 as a Sentinel. We do got Hondo to pass around some upgrades. We do have a bunch of other just good units, and we're hoping to just get to DUME and drop it and then scale out of control, because KRENNIC will come down next turn, and then we'll have a 3/8 KRENNIC and just kind of control the board. A little bit of interaction, a little bit of curve out. Let's see what we can do. Into our very first game, and we got ourselves a pretty reasonable hand. I'm going to resource the Axe Woves and the Royal Guard Attaché up against Han, which can be a very scary list. So I don't think our chances are like exceptionally great starting out, but I really want to see some removal. That's what I want to see. So we're going to deploy Pershing to start out, just because I'm really hoping to see some sort of removal to deal with a lot of units. Grogu is a card that I really did not want to see, although we managed to pick up a Power of the Dark Side, which is the card that I will be playing here. Grogu could be absolutely a menace, so just dropping the Power of the Dark Side here on turn 2 is going to be the game plan. Get rid of that Grogu, then Dr. Pershing can continue to, generate some card advantage for us. And then we will be able to see what we can do here. Let's go Dr. Pershing, draw a card. And I'm actually going to put a shield token on Dr. Pershing here. Well, actually, I don't even need to. I don't need to. Another Gideon, not really that crazy about Gideon here. We can go double 2-drop in like KRENNIC plus Royal Guard. I'm really looking for DUME is what I really want to see. So I probably will draw a card with Dr. Pershing just to see if I can pick up a DUME. Because if I can, I will just immediately drop DUME on the board. Although it might be worth it to drop my 2 and double 2-drop here. Either way, it is pretty friendly in terms of what we can do in terms of resources. Vigilance as the draw. Vigilance is a good card. Let's see what my opponent's got here, though. Chirrut. Chirrut is pretty good. I think I'm going to go KRENNIC, Royal Guard Attaché, and then Security Complex on the Pershing pass. Pike Sentinel, either Dr. Pershing. Let's resource the Dr. Pershing here. Chirrut is pretty obnoxious, to be honest. Don't like seeing that one. But definitely can get there still. Definitely can get there still. We'll see what my opponent wants to do. Doom is what I was looking for. That is the card I'm looking for. My opponent did not resource. I feel like we should concede because my opponent should definitely have resourced here, and they just missed it. So sure. I was like 4 resources over there. That's odd. If this calculated lethality was a takedown, that would have been awesome. They said they meant to resource. Obviously, they meant to resource. Just a mistake, but we can't redo the turn, unfortunately, in Karavast. The older versions of Karavast, you could. I wish it was a feature that was added back into the newer updated version, but regardless, we will see what my opponent's got here. What do you have, opponent? What do you have? They're going to attack into the Dr. Pershing. Sure, let's go ahead and deploy KRENNIC. Both Vigilance and Calculated Lethality are very awkward up against Chirrut, especially with all these low-powered units. Entrenched. Okay. Okay. You got me, my friend. You got me. Sure. We'll play Gideon. We'll just drop another unit. I'm really just looking for, at this point, like a Rival's Fall. Honestly, I'm really just looking for a Rival's Fall. What they can do here is they can kill Gideon with their Chirrut, and if they do decide to do that, I'm actually totally fine with that. Gideon isn't going to give us a trigger, but what even is this? I mean, I'm looking for a Rival's Fall. I'm looking for I should have drawn a card. That was a mistake here. They just knocked out our Director KRENNIC. Wow. Really just dumb situation for us to be in. This does not work in so many different circumstances, but you know what? Sometimes your opponent just drops in the double entrenched on Chirrut and goes to town. I mean, this is quite the hand here for my opponent. I should have drawn a card, by the way, last turn. Definitely a mistake. But yeah, I mean, what do you even do? It's so funny, to be honest. It's so funny. Yeah, let's go with Hondo here. Hondo's gonna be able to take out the Chirrut, I guess. Oh my gosh, I think it's hilarious. My opponent, well played to you for the double entrenched onto Chirrut. Yeah, so many things just absolutely decimate what my opponent's got right now. Shatterpoint, they can go ahead and get rid of the Hondo or the Gideon or the KRENNIC. Okay, they're going to take out KRENNIC. Sure. Let's drop a Pike Sentinel in. It is so silly. It is so silly. We're just going to claim initiative and they can do their thing. Oh man, I love it. Honestly, this is what I play Star Wars Unlimited for, is these types of games right here, guys. This is what I love. We're going to attack into Chirrut. You take control of an entrenched. I'll put it on I guess I'll put it on Hondo, just to get in some damage here. And then we can give an experience token over to Gideon. Hondo. I'm surprised they didn't Shatterpoint Hondo. I don't know why they didn't just Shatterpoint Hondo. But now our Hondo is entrenched, baby. Let's get it. I mean, this is a game and a half. I mean, this is what I play Star Wars Unlimited for, guys. I don't know what else to say besides this is what I play Star Wars Unlimited for. This is absolutely freaking hilarious. Yeah, what a funny game. Hondo coming in absolute clutch, by the way. Absolute clutch. They say, wow, that's crazy, when we just yoink their entrenched when they had Chirrut double entrenched. Like, I don't know. That is pretty funny. It is a funny game, though. That was just, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Let's go Chilton, and we can reveal all 4 of these cards. Make it a 6/6 Sentinel here. Chilton coming in. We got a lot of options. We can Death Trooper away the Yoda, or we could play Axe. Like I said, lots of options. Another Shatter Point coming in. Defeat that, sure. Let's go ahead and deal 2 to the Hondo, deal 2 to the Yoda. Get the experience token over on Death Trooper. My opponent has now double Shatter Pointed us. Oh, guys. Ogdo Bogdo. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's just hit their base for 7. I don't even think we care about their units here. This has been a fun game. This has been a fun game. And my opponent made a mistake. If they had not made a mistake, I think the game would have been a lot tougher. I don't know. I feel like the game probably would have gone very similar had they gone. They had the double entrenched. I'm sure they would have gone with the double entrenched still. But yeah, this is a fun one. This is a fun one. We've got calculated lethality. I think we just go with the vigilance and we put a shield token on Hondo. I don't know. Vigilance, defeat, shield token to. Well, maybe I give Death Trooper and then give an experience token over to Death Trooper. Hondo can only attack units, so obviously using Hondo on a unit here. I like how they're saying wow. It wasn't Mill. Nah, man, we're playing the aggressive double vigilance Doom deck. It is what it is. Let's get in for 7 with Gideon here. I don't think this game's going to come down to milling at all. I'd be very surprised if this game came down to deck size. But, you know, I've been surprised before, like double entrenched at Chirrut. You know, so I'm open. I am certainly open. Let's go ahead and knock out Han. I guess I could take control of an experience token. I don't think I need to. Give an experience token over to Hondo, give him a little bit more power and toughness so that he doesn't just immediately die. I know I could have played Axe and give the experience token over to Axe to give it +2/+2, but I'm kind of curious because I might want to go calculate lethality on something. Well, maybe not anymore. We have covert strength too. We have options, man. We have options. Let's go Axe here. Guys, I love this game. This was such a fun game. They have the entrenched again. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and give an experience token over to Axe. What is going on in this game? They've got the entrenched. Let's pass. Double power of that arc site. Well, that is a hand I can get behind right here. Now I don't feel like we could ever lose. Crate Dragon, huh? Crate Dragon. Guys, I mean, we're going to tag the Crate Dragon, yoink the entrenched, and drop it on, I suppose, the Death Trooper. I mean, the game is won, but this was a fun one. I think my opponent, had they resourced, they would have had a good chance of winning. I don't think it would have been over necessarily. Double entrenched Chirrut would have been insane, though. I don't know. I don't know what actually, like, exactly the turn sequence of this game was. I have a feeling my opponent still would have gone with a double entrenched Chirrut. But yeah, my opponent says, love your deck. Honestly, the feeling is mutual, my friend. Double entrenched Chirrut. I can't complain. I can't complain. That was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. GG to my opponent. It was a fun one. It's one of my favorite one games so far in Set 5. It was just like absurd thing. I'm not playing a very. Sometimes you just load up a Chirrut and we have no answers for it, and it's just solid. It's just solid. It's awesome. All right, into the next game, guys. We're actually rematching here. I was playing against this opponent here. Totally reasonable hand, by the way. And what happened was they went for a resource, and it ended up being, or they used Han's action, and it ended up being a a instant kill on their village protectors, which ended up being really funny actually. So we conceded that match, or they conceded the match, and they're just like, hey, you want a rematch? Yeah. So this is now the third game with this person here. And we're gonna see. By the way, that first game was a perfect example of the let them have it kind of thing to live by, which is just play a card, right? Just play the card and make them have whatever it is that that needs to deal with your units. When they go double entrenched chariot against double vigilance, that is super scary. We could have Fell the Dragon, we could have Power of the Dark Side, we could have Rivals Falls, we could have all that. And we do have a lot of those, by the way. We have Rivals Fall, we have Power of the Dark, so we have all that type of stuff. But just sometimes, sometimes you don't have it. And guess what? That's when it ends up being a nightmare for us. So really cool stuff. Also, our opponent's deck was just fun to watch play, to see, by the way. So we're just running into the next game with them. This hand looks absolutely amazing, by the way. Childson here as a 6/6. There's a lot of options that we have, though. We could, if my opponent plays for, they're going to attack Pershing. Interesting. I would have expected them not to attack Pershing, but let's go with Childson here, and then just reveal a bunch of cards. Make a 6/6. They could have Shatterpoint, which is something to consider. I think if they Shatterpoint, I will just attack their Ezra and then leave Pershing alive. Security Complex could be pretty good depending on the circumstances, so I'm happy to have that. Ideally, they put a chariot down, and then we are like just laughing away. But we'll see. We'll see. There's the Shatterpoint. Like I said, that was to be expected. Yep. Kill off the Ezra, and then we're left with a Pershing, and they've got nothing, which is actually pretty good for us. Another Childson, actually very much like that. I think the Electro Staff is... The Electro Staff could be pretty good, but I think I'd rather just deploy units. No Dooms, by the way. No Dooms. No Dooms in the first game. No Dooms in the second game. Can we get a Doom? Doom is what we want to see. Let's see what my opponent's got here. They're going to deploy Han. If they deploy Han, I'm immediate. They're using Han Solo, so it could be deployed, could be an action. If they okay, they got Anakin. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to Power the Dark Side. Away Anakin. Obviously exceptional plays from my opponent here. Let's go ahead and deploy Krennic. We can, give it a shield token, which is totally reasonable. We'll see what my opponent's got as a follow-up, though. Oh, they're gonna not attack my Krennic. That's fine. I think I'm okay with just hitting base here and leaving Krennic high power, or high toughness and power. It's gonna attack, pass, Krennic, Gideon. I think Childson looks pretty weak here, actually. We're going to run out of cards, and I'm thinking I'm going to Rivals Fall something. My opponent's had, a pretty... They've had a very good start for interacting with what we got going on. And so did we. So, it's very even game right now. But my opponent has access to one additional resource than I do. And they probably have things like that where it's like, dang, that is going to be kind of rough for us to deal with. I think what we'll do here is just... drop a Lom Pike on the battlefield, because Lom Pike doesn't die to Anakin, and that is pretty nice for us. Let's go ahead and claim initiative here. Covert Strength into the resource pile. Easy resource here. Let's go ahead and attack, give an experience token or a shield token over to Anakin. Well, I could give it a... let's attack Han. Give a shield token to Anakin. Give a shield token to the Lom Pike. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm planning on no glory only resulting the Anakin. So I'm trying to get a little bit of extra value here. They could attack my Lom Pike, and then it ends up being just okay for us. But in the ideal circumstance, we do get to no glory, and then we get kind of the free shield value. No guarantee that's going to happen, though. No guarantee. They're gonna attack. Interesting. I'm going to kill Han, so they can't use Han's ability at least this turn. And we'll see what my opponent wants to do as a follow-up. I do like having Long Pike on the battlefield. That is really nice for us. My opponent having Anakins really did shift the game to parity. So we had very good kind of interaction, but then they had double Anakin, which dealt with our, 3 toughness units. So very, very strong from them. They had Ezra to kill off our unit. Ooh, there is a Luke coming in. Okay, let's just go ahead and no glory the Luke then. Luke is obviously far stronger than anything else that we have. So opponent's just going to play big haymaker after haymaker, and it's going to be really tough for us to deal with, to be honest. So I think we're definitely losing this game, but you know what? That's okay. That is okay. That sometimes just happens. It happens. Totally reasonable, by the way. No value out of our security complex so far. Opponent could have a Crate Dragon this game, or this turn. They do not have Crate Dragon that they're deploying immediately, at least, so that's good. No Doom. Doom would have been the card that we really wanted to see to start scaling out of control. But they probably would have been able to deal with it with the Lukes and the Anakins and everything. So opponent has just way better late game. We really needed to curve out in this game, but the way they're curving out is killing our units and curving out, and then we're curving out to try to deal with their units. And oop, there's a Chewbacca. There is a Chewbacca. That is quite powerful here. And that's going to deal with our unit here. And I don't know if we have a way out. Lots of late game power here. Luke's, Anakin's, things like that. Oh, I should have attacked here. But that's okay. That is okay. I don't think we can win. I think the game is over. They're going to deal with Pershing. I think my opponent should just be attacking base. We have such a weak base right now that, I don't even see us even having a chance. They have so much late game that, and we have so low on HP on base. Security complex doesn't do anything. It's -3/-3s. So just kind of dominating us. They don't need to rely on their units to attack. Every single one of their units that they've played has killed a unit. Anakin, Luke, Chewbacca, Shatterpoint. The only thing that didn't was the Ezra and Yoda early on. So definitely a very different game from double Trench Chirrut. I was not expecting this after that situation, but you know what? We will knock out the Anakin, and then we'll see what my opponent's got as a follow-up here. What do you have, opponent? We really can't get anything on the board. My opponent should just be killing us. What is next? What is next? What is next? I mean, we could draw a bunch of removal. Like, Power of the Dark Side's really good. We haven't drawn any Power of the Dark Sides. Well, actually, we have drawn a Power of the Dark Side. There's Mace Windu. All right, Mace Windu is very good. Let's attack Mace Windu for 2 here with a Krennic. I mean, we're fighting, but we need like a Super Laser Blast. My opponent, we'll put a shield token on this. Power of the Dark Side. Okay, I mean, we got something going, right? We're going to be able to knock out, if they have nothing here, we're going to be able to knock out, in theory, their board. In theory. Okay, let's go ahead and Rivals Fall the Chewbacca. I don't like our spot, by the way. Oh my gosh, they have the Chirrut as a follow-up. That is kind of nasty here. Chirrut makes it very difficult for us to interact here. I was hoping that they were going to have something different, like a bigger play, but nope, the Sentinel actually works really well against us. I don't think we could like play around anything, so we're just playing our cards in the most optimal sequence, in theory, to ideally get the best results, but we don't have a way around a lot of these things that my opponent are playing. We don't have Super Laser Blast in the deck because it's not a control deck. We're dooming. By the way, we are halfway through the deck and we have seen 0 dooms. So I think our deck is struggling. Yeah. All right. GG to my opponent. GG. Definitely a fun one. Well played on the second one. It was best of 3, I suppose, but they made a mistake on game 1 and game 2. So game 1 would have been really close. Game 2, I don't even remember what really happened, but I think it was pretty close to. So Good stuff. Well played. Into our next game, and we got ourselves a pretty good hand. I do like this one. Probably the devotion going to be a resource. Got a little bit of upgrades going on here. We're going to go Dr. Pershing on turn 1. They can go ahead and generate the force. They're just going to claim initiative. We're going to pass back. We've got Pike Sentinel. I think the Electro Staff is going to be the resource because I probably want to go Power the Dark Side here, but we will see. Let's go to draw a card with Pershing here. Ooh, Doom. Like Doom quite a bit. I couldn't make them make us discard. No, we're just gonna get a shielded unit down. I think I'd rather have a shielded unit down. Another Doom and a Chilled Sin. Okay. I mean, having Doom down is really, really good, so I'm happy with that. They got a Jedi Knight here. All right. Sure. I'll put a security complex shield on Dr. Pershing just to make it a little bit more annoying for my opponent to deal with. All right, we're going to go ahead and draw a card now with Dr. Pershing. If they want to go ahead and knock that guy out, which they do. Let's go ahead and go with Chilled Sin here. And then reveal Vigilance, Power of the Dark Side. Actually, let's reveal Doom, Gideon. I probably should have just done this first, actually. I was thinking about going Doom, but then I don't really see a reason as to why I would do that. Let's go Jedi and Haydn, knock that out. They can use the Force to make us discard. That's fine. I can discard probably the Doom here, and then we will pass here. That is a big Chilled Sin, by the way. It is going to be a obnoxious card to deal with. They're going to use the Force. We're going to go and claim initiative. Death Trooper looks potentially pretty good. Power of the Dark Side looks pretty good too. I think the Vigilance looks pretty weak, actually. Let's go ahead and use this guy to knock out some units here. Just immediately start knocking out some units. I think that's where the true strength of this is going to be. Here, I mean, they can kill, I suppose. I mean, we could just knock out the Jedi Knight, right? I think that's going to be the best thing to do, even though it's a little bit awkward here because we can't deploy Doom, and I really want to. I really want to deploy Doom. But that's okay. That's okay. We can just do our thing here. Let's go ahead and drop in. Let's go and attack with... Actually, let's play Doom. Let's just play Doom. We'll see what my opponent's got. They got an Obi-Wan. That's fine. I'll just claim initiative, and we will see what our opponent's got next. Vigilance... Dr. Pershing. I mean, here we just go with... Well, here we could do a lot of different things, actually. I think we'll start off with... Oh, they're just going to concede. Okay. I was going to say, we could do a lot of different things. I was thinking about attacking. I was thinking about just playing Axe. And then if they attack Krennic, we can play Death Trooper, knock out Obi-Wan, and then deal a couple damage to something else. And then we start to really scale up our board every single turn. It's going to get absolutely disgusting. So yeah, we were in an absolutely fantastic spot there. Well, there goes that game. Talk about two value decks going at it here. We got ourselves a pretty decent hand. I do like the Death Trooper up against Kanan's potential shielding. I also think Security Complex is going to be better than just a regular base in this particular matchup. I do have the Doom here, which is also something that I'm pretty excited about. Let's go ahead and claim initiative, and we got a Power of the Dark Side, which I do quite like. And let's go to resource the Railguard, because I think I'm just going to Power the Dark Side the Lothwolf. I could always pass, but that just seems pretty mediocre. So I'm just going to Power the Darks. Well, I could attack with Krennic first, and if they decide to put a shield token on, then I can Power the Dark Side. And yes, I lose a shield token, but yeah, now they have to play a 2-drop. They have another Lothwolf, of course. That is pretty much the one thing that doesn't do all that well for us. Let's just go with Doom, and then we'll see what my opponent decides to do here. They got their own Doom. We're going to go and claim initiative. We will get first action here. We'll resource our Dr. Pershing, and we're going to no glory only results that Doom. Just knock it out here. But first, we will just go ahead and deploy our Krennic here, and we'll see what my opponent decides to do with their 5 resource available to them. Really, really similar curve here. I was really hoping they didn't have another Lothwolf. That's what makes it like really, really unfortunate here. We're going to attack, shrink our Krennic a little bit. That's fine. They can Vigilance away the Krennic. That's fine because we have the no glory only results to actually deal with... Oh, they got shield token. Wow, that's actually really obnoxious. Oh, I can... That was weird. I wasn't actually sure what was taking place there. Let's go ahead and pass, I suppose. Just keep scaling up our units, I suppose. You know, I mean, we have vigilance this turn, which is going to be pretty good. Oh, I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do. They have Bendu. Bendu is a creature too. Ugh, Bendu's gonna get very, very big. Let's go vigilance, defeat, and then shield token our director KRENNIC, I suppose. They can go ahead and flip. We will play a secretive sage, and we'll just start pumping our units. You know, we will just start pumping our units. Let's go ahead and I suppose we'll attack into Bendu. Give a shield token over to DUME here, then pass. Keep scaling, keep scaling, keep scaling. Axe looks not as good as the Death Troopers. I think I'd rather have the Death Troopers here. Opponent's got Force is with me, huh? Jeez. Jeez. Let's go ahead and deal a couple points of damage to the Bendu here. Remember, they can play a next non-villainy, non-heroism card for 2 less, which is going to be pretty crazy good. We can knock out that unit, which is pretty nice for us. And now, I mean, we can knock out Kanan, right? That's pretty good. And then we can play another DUME. Definitely working out for us here. I think we're ahead on this. I think we're pretty ahead on this. Okay, never mind. Let's just go with Death Trooper here and knock on Kanan's door here. And then we can attack their base and then pass, get a bunch of experience tokens going. The Chilton doesn't look that fantastic here. Gideon also doesn't even look that great. They could knock out our DUME. Yep, they will knock out DUME here. Let's go ahead and play out a Gideon. I know this could be a little bit risky, but I'd rather go for the high value here. Graceful Purgle. Well, that is a fun one to see, huh? Let's go ahead and knock out Kanan, give an experience token over to the Death Trooper. We can knock out Ezra, give an experience token over to the Secretive Sage, attack for 6, pass. Calculated lethality, Rivals Fall. Well, I don't want to get rid of anything. Graceful Purgle is very, very mediocre. So I'm very happy with how this game has shaped up. They can knock out Secretive Sage, which is totally fine, actually, because we can... What do we want to do here? I mean, we can Rivals Fall or just play another DUME. I think Rivals Falling is going to be the game plan here. Let's go ahead and attack it for 6. Attack it for another 6. Pass. Railguard Attaché. I think the Gideon's going to be the resource here. If they have a way to kill this, then I'm okay with that. You got a Mythosaur. All right, they played the Mythosaur. They got us. I mean, we had a very similar style of deck, but we just kind of outvalued them with the director removal. I mean, they almost got there. They had a lot of Sentinels. The Lothwolves were incredibly annoying. And the Forces with me was actually a really good play. The Vigilance ended up taking out our KRENNIC, which I was kind of relying on for a little bit of extra power. But that was a fun one. That was a fun one as well. Very similar styles of decks. All right, into our next matchup. And I'm going to keep this one. I do quite like this hand, actually. Nice little curve out here. I would like to have more removal. Every single person in the entire game is playing Han right now. It is what it is. We're just going to fight against a lot of Hans. In general, it is a very powerful list. You could go Han Blue, you can go Han Green, and both of which are going to be absolutely excellent. Han Green is the one that's typically a little bit more commonly played, but just so many. Ooh, Luke coming down is really not a scary play whatsoever. So I am actually quite okay with that. And now we'll just go ahead and, I mean, my opponent, what could they play? They could play a lot of different things, but I think I'm just going to go with the axe here. I actually don't mind not attacking with my unit here. Okay, they're going to have force throw. We can get rid of vigilance here. They can get rid of something here, but we can just knock out Luke and then we're fine. Like, just knock out Luke. I'm not worried about force throw because of shield tokens. So that's totally fine. If my opponent wants to go with that play, totally happy with that. And then we can keep our security complex. That gives us a little bit of another dynamic to play with. And now, I mean, if they need force for like Kiadi Mundi, we're in a pretty good spot. Like, yeah, force throw just does nothing up against us here with the double shielded draw, which is one of the reasons why I'm like, oh, I'm just going to play my units because it's double shielded. So it's going to be very difficult for my opponent to deal with it, period. And there's a chance I may not even want to attack. In fact, my opponent may have just conceded because they had double force throw. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, that would have been pretty good. We are just going to go with a Doom, and then we're going to see if we even bother attacking. There's a chance that we may not even attack here. No glory only results is fantastic, by the way. Love the pickup here in the no glory only results. Okay, my opponent plays the Adept Arc 170, and they're going to take initiative. So we're just going to attack for 2 here, and then we're just going to start getting experience tokens. That is pretty fantastic. We're going to be able to deploy Krennic, and I don't know how my opponent wins now. Yeah, don't know how my opponent wins at all. Luke into double force throw is very risky to start with if that's your only couple of plays. No glory is going to be fantastic. We have security complex, which I'm just sitting on right now. We got Chewbacca. That's rough. That is a concede moment right there. Chewbacca on the Arc 170, pretty rough for my opponent. And now we get to deploy Krennic. We can put a shield token on our Secretive Sage just to keep it alive. They've got Infiltrator's Skill, huh? Well, you know, sometimes your opponent plays Infiltrator's Skill. Sometimes that does indeed happen. Okay. You know, sometimes that happens. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and attack, start getting more experience tokens. We've got an amazing hand. I'm actually going to resource the Gideon because I'd rather play 2 plays with Doom on the battlefield versus just the 1. And if we do resource, and well, I mean, it could go bad if they have like discard here, but even if they have discard, I don't know how they win. That was just like a GG moment. Yeah, very interesting list. The Arc 170's different. The Infiltrator skill is very, very different. I haven't seen this card since like draft set 1. But okay. A good game. All right. Well, I was going to just start a game, and then my opponent mulliganed and then conceded as the Han Solo. I was just about to say, well, looks like we got another Han Solo, but that's not the case. And then we're going to fight him because apparently they had a bad hand, which, you know, totally fair, I guess, if they think they're going to lose. I guess we win the flip this time, and we will see what happens. I'm going to mulligan this hand. I don't think this hand's very good. This hand is a little bit better. I do like this hand a little bit better. I think I'm going to resource these 2. And then we got Secretive Sage turn 1, Death Trooper on turn 2. I do like Death Trooper on turn 2. And we'll see what's going to happen. So Han Blue, first 2 games. We had Han Green, which we just fought. And then I think we just fought, right? I'm losing track of my games. Was it Han Green? Oh, and then Kanan Blue, and then something else. I don't know. Lots of Hans, guys. Han is like ridiculously popular right now. It's just like infinite Hans, which is a little obnoxious. It's a little obnoxious, to be honest. I think Hondo, I mean, it could be good with Long Pike, but I'm just going to resource it here. I'm going to go and attack in for 2, and then we'll see what my opponent's got. See if they attack the Secretive Sage. They do not. Let's go ahead and Death Trooper the Ogdo. And then we'll see what my opponent wants to do after the fact. Secretive Sage, obviously the attacking with Secretive Sage is going to be absolutely great here. Ooh, I mean, Electro Staff going to be the resource here. We have Vigilance, which is going to be pretty nice. I think what I'll do is just defeat and then give a shield token to my Death Trooper. Seems pretty good to me. Be able to knock out my opponent's couple of units here. Chilton would have been nice, but it would only been a 5/5, so it would have just died to both of these units, which is not exactly what I want to be doing. Krennic is really going to come in clutch here. The Restore 2 is really going to help us, you know, not die a bunch. Security Complex still available for us, by the way. They have Internet Warrior. Jeez, that was slightly difficult for me, apparently. Let's just go ahead and attack it. They can just trade shields here. I'm doing this because if we draw like another Death Trooper, it could be pretty good for us. They got Force Throw. I mean, they can knock out a unit. That's fine. Shieldsen's going to be pretty bad here. They can pick whatever unit they want. Force Throw is what's going to help them kind of recover in the game. Doom is great. Death Trooper's pretty good. I mean, they got a resource Gideon here. And I actually played Death Trooper and knock out Iterate Warrior. That's exactly why I did my play, by the way. And then we can deploy Pike Sentinel, which is going to give us a Sentinel. And then we can do DUME, which is going to be pretty nice. I mean, who knows what they can play here. They can play so many different things. They got Anakin. I mean, Anakin's absolutely amazing for them to deploy here. Let's go ahead and deploy Krennic. We will attack, get a little restore to action in. We'll play a Pike Sentinel. Pass, and then we got a Long Pike going into the resource pile, I suppose. Yeah. My opponent, very, very strong start here. The problem with Hans here, especially with Han Blue, is that you have Anakins, you have Lukes, you have so many things that bypass shields, and then you have an amazing start like what they just had, plus the Force Throw. Like, that is an amazing curve out too. 5 powered units, turn 1, turn 2. You get the Rebellious Hammerhead, they're going to deal 2 to something. I mean, that's not that great. You know, that's not that great, actually. I'm not really that worried about that. Yep, they're gonna deal some damage here. We're gonna security complex up the Pike Sentinel. I'm actually totally fine with this. We can attack it with Anakin, and then we attack their Han with the okay. That's what they decided to do, huh? That's pretty okay with us, actually. Stack it to the base for 3. And then we will DUME plus Covert Strength the Krennic to knock out Anakin. Knock out Anakin, pass, get an experience token. No reason to... I mean, I guess we can actually smuggle one of these out. So actually, I'm going to resource the Royal Guard. Lots of damage coming in from the Rebellious Hammerhead. The only thing is, if they have a Luke here, I think we just lose. So lots of scary stuff that could come down. But Luke or Anakin, actually, anything that does the -3/-3 that gives them a body is going to be really difficult for us to deal with. So I'm just going to immediately attack here. They have Bendu, huh? Well, Bendu is pretty scary too, actually. Wow, Bendu is very, very scary. Let's go Pike Sentinel attack. That's actually pretty good for us, though, because Bendu, or DUME is going to get every one of our units out of range of the Bendu. So that's actually really good for us. Power of the Dark Side also looks pretty good in this spot, especially since we can knock out Bendu with Long Pike and then give a shield token over the Rebellious Hammerhead, which looks pretty good. So I think we're actually in a pretty decent spot in the stage of the game. And then hopefully we can get there. They can attack with Bendu. Get an attack in. I assume they will, at least. I assume they will. That'd be like the first thing I would want to do if I had my Bendu on the battlefield. I mean, look at this juicy board right now. It's so juicy, actually. The Bendu value is crazy, by the way. Yep. Deal a bunch of damage to everything here. I'm going to get some restoring in. I think that's the most important thing. Even though I could attack with Long Pike, get the shield token rolling. Like, I do want to do that, absolutely. But I think the... Okay, what do they get rid of here? Long Pike. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and power the dark side here. I'm doing this because I think my opponent's going to want to get rid of this Rebellious Hammer, so I may as well just absorb the damage here. So this is where I went with a more conservative route, and I think it's going to backfire a little bit. But that's okay. That's okay. We still have options. We have a lot of removal in the deck. Oh my gosh, they have Podameron. Well, now the game is probably over. So us not attacking with Long Pike there definitely made us potentially lose the game here. Definitely a massive problem. My opponent can just attack base with both of these guys and basically just kill us. Like literally kill us. So if they see the line, then they win. But they don't see the line, so I guess we might win. Very, 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 very interesting play from my opponent, because they can literally just win. They can literally just win. They just attack base and then attack base. But yeah, we're going to attack base here with our little Secretive Sage for sure. Well, I mean, that's not great either. Oh, they just had an absurd ending game there. But we made the conservative play of attacking with Director Krennic first. And because they happen to why do they attack like that? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know if they know what Bendu does. Huh. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and I mean, we attack here for sure. I mean, we lose. It is over. The game is completely over. There's nothing that we can do here. Because they just attack us, right? Like, it's go over. But we should have lost last turn. So the only difference, I could have long piked the Bendu, and then we probably would have won this game. The only problem with that is if they had a different sequence of cards, we lose to a different play. So I don't know why they're shatterpointing. They're feeling themselves a little bit. Whoops, I meant to concede, but they're feeling themselves a little bit. I respect it because I do the same thing. But yeah, I should have attacked a long pike. I even mentioned this, but I was playing around something different, and then I got smacked with the attack into Bendy, or was it attack? I actually don't even remember. Was it shatter? I can't remember what they did, but they messed with the play with a different card that I thought they were. So Han. The -3 the play a unit, kill your unit is the thing that really messes with us because it's a turn earlier than it should be, and that's the problem. But good game. Okay, into our next game here. We got ourselves a match up against Obi-Wan Kenobi. I do like this hand. I don't think this is a great matchup for us. The Obi-Wan red with the force throws I think is a little bit easier for us to deal with. But they could have a lot of different things here on turn one that I'm a little bit scared of. They also have the initiative, which is a little bit unfortunate. So we will see what they've got. I do like Dom Pike in general in this spot. Ooh, I like it even more now. Yeah, I like it even more. Let's go ahead and get rid of this axe. Vigilance is going to be pretty good here, I imagine. They can start giving experience tokens over to their Y-Wing, though, so they could potentially get it out of range. Yeah, we'll just take a bunch of damage here. That's fine. We will draw a card. Doom. Okay, Doom is pretty good. They've got Adi Galea. We're going to drop in our Axe Woves. Oh, they can't give an experience token because, of course, it is not force units, obviously. Duh, what am I even thinking, guys? Vigilance comes down, kills the Y-Wing, which seems pretty good. I could also just play Doom, which seems pretty good as well. I think Vigilance looks the best here. Jedi Temple Guards. All right. Let's put a shield token on Axe. I mean, they did the thing. They did the thing. I don't think that was very good at all. So I'm very happy with our position in this game this time. We can go Vigilance. I can also play Childson and just make a gigantic unit. I think that's what I want to do. Play a Childson, make a gigantic unit, and then we will just take a bunch of damage on our base. We're fine with that. I don't really care. Let's go ahead and draw a card here with the Pershing. I'd rather draw more cards to see what my opponent has potential to draw into, or what we have potential to draw into. Doom can be pretty good here, but Krennic's going to be able to allow us to survive a little bit longer. Okay, they're going to not hit into Chilton. That's fine. Covert Strength, that could be potentially pretty good. I actually really do like that. A 1 resource play here when I have a bunch of 4 resource plays seems excellent. Even if we just put it on like Krennic or something. They probably have like Shatterpoint. What do they have a bombing run? Who the heck plays bombing run, man? Why is bombing run in my game right now? Oh my gosh, that was incredible. What a gamer. All right, let's just go ahead and play Doom. And yeah, my opponent is just better than us. That is what that means. My opponent is better than us. We will Covert Strength my Krennic. We will go ahead and attack their Obi-Wan. And then we will see what they want to do here. You know, sometimes you just get smacked with a bombing run and you're like, dang, man, that was crazy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we got bombing run. That is absolutely insane. Okay, we've got double Death Trooper. I do like double Death Trooper here. I'm going to start off with just killing off Obi-Wan, get the Restore 2 in. I could take a couple of points of damage on Doom here. Spread out the love a little bit. Let's attack in with Doom, and let's see what my opponent's got. Maybe they have another bombing run. They could bombing run us twice in a row. Oh, Blue Leader. Okay, Blue Leader is pretty good for them, for sure. Let's see if they decide to hit Krennic or Doom. I think they kill Doom here. If I were them, I would kill... Well, maybe Krennic is the target. Well, looks like that is not the target. So let's go ahead and play a Secretive Sage pass. Devotion looks pretty good here, actually, on this board. I do like Devotion. Devotion on, you know, Krennic or Secretive Sage is pretty nice. This thing is out of range of Vigilance, which can be a little bit scary, for sure. For sure. My opponent, opponents play Jedi Temple Guards and Bombing Run. I don't even know what to expect from my opponent's deck, but that Bombing Run was one of the best Bombing Runs I have ever seen in my entire life. Kill Pershing, Axe, and Shields in there. That was absolutely just incredible. We're gonna knock out Mace Windu here. Easy takeout here for us. I mean, I guess I could have played the Death Trooper, and I probably should have actually. That was a mistake. Yeah, silly mistake. Let's go ahead and put the Devotion on, and then we will heal and then shield with the Vigilance. So we're going to heal, shield on the Death Trooper, attack in for 5, pass. And I mean, that was a lot of value there for sure. Let's pass on resourcing anything. I definitely should have played the Death Trooper. That was a big mistake. I would have had another Death Trooper on the battlefield and a shield token on my Secretive Sage. I mean, it's not the worst thing, I guess, but yeah, definitely would have preferred to do exactly that. Timely what? Oh my gosh, Timely Poe Dameron. What a disgusting selection of cards here. My opponent definitely... We need just a Power of the Dark Side or no Glory, and we just win the game. In theory, like in this earlier section of the game, but we just haven't gotten it, so really just a little bit unfortunate there. Let's see how many cards they decide to discard here. They could potentially they're gonna discard both. Okay, so they're just gonna get rid of everything. That's fine. They're gonna get rid of everything. We are going to Royal Guard Attaché and then Vigilance. Vigilance, we will defeat, heal 5. Again, Power of the Dark Side. Power of the Dark Side, fantastic. That's all I was looking for, really, guys. That's all I was looking for. Obviously, now Power of the Dark Side is going to be potentially a little bit weaker because my opponent is going to have another unit to play. But yeah. Now we're just going to go Power, get rid of their unit. Could have done this so much earlier had we actually had anything to play. Now we just go Gideon. Force throw, huh? Well, that is pretty good for them. What a crazy series of events here. Calculated lethality. Well, calculated lethality is a crazy pickup too. That was pretty good. Calculated lethality, the one of here, doing work. Let's go ahead and put an Electro Staff on Gideon. That's a big Gideon. Do I attack base or do I attack Mace Windu? I think I attack Mace Windu here. Because... yeah, I think I attack Mace Windu. Because I can give Experience Tongue, which makes this a 5 toughness. And then with Electro Staff, even a Mace Windu play doesn't kill. Oh my gosh, that is a lot of Gideons. Okay, we'll keep them all. We'll keep all the Gideons, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. The double Gideon is horrible here. Calculated lethality was a great draw, and the double Gideon was probably the worst. This is literally the absolute worst things that we could have drawn. But they're conceding, so we actually ended up winning. GG. Yeah, I mean, that was the most absurd bombing run I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know what else to say. That bombing run gave them a chance in that game. That was incredible. that was just absurd. I am not playing around bombing run anytime ever. That is just not what I'm doing. and we got absolutely destroyed by it. So good to my opponent. You know what? You can't hate it. All right, guys, what did we learn with KRENNIC? Well, it was a lot of fun. And we had a very large amount of Han Solo games. But outside of Han Solo, I mean, we did have some really, really interesting, almost mirrors, like against the double blue cane with the DUME style of deck. I do think KRENNIC is just stronger. If you saw a lot of those games where, like, for example, that Obi-Wan game, had I been playing Gar Saxon with this exact list, we would have lost. Mainly because KRENNIC healed us up enough to where we could survive to be able to actually deploy what we needed to deploy. So that was the critical kind of big difference maker in actually a lot of these matchups. The Electrostaff and Devotion were kind of in there for fun. I just wanted to play a little bit of upgrades. Devotion actually came in clutch in a couple of those games. Electrostaff, pretty mediocre. Probably just don't play that. I wanted to do the fun things like put it on an axe. But if you want to do that, probably just play Mandalorian Armor. Instead, I would just put more removal in the deck. This was for fun. I would definitely play 3 copies of Takedown in this meta. That's what I would do. Takedown's just exceptional. It's really good against the Chariots, the Sentinels. Like when you're trying to curve out and then you get this big Sentinel, when you have a lot of low power units that are trying to get pumped up, it's not like a Chariot just gets absolutely, absolutely wrecks you. Takedown also works excellently against the space units that really just kind of are bypassing everything that you're doing because you don't have any space units in the deck. You're relying on removal. I do think Calculated Cloudy has actually had some really good targets in the meta these days. So, I like the 1 of, the 2 of, something like that. You could even go the 3 of no glory only results because that was pretty clutch as well. But overall, I mean, we're curving out, we're playing Dooms, we're scaling up, and we're knocking our opponents down. So it was a lot of fun. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I will see you all for the next one.